everybody, and welcome back for the second stream of the night on the Carter Zone. As you can see, Jodie Whittaker fans continue to attack John Barrowman, and they demand, yes, they demand a sincere apology. Now, for anybody watching this video who may disagree with me and say, well, how do you know it's Jodie Whittaker fans? Well, because I've got the evidence. Now, unfortunately, normally we'd be able to put that evidence up and show everybody. If you're on Twitter, you'll see it yourselves anyway, and you'll see that I'm not telling any lies. But what I will do is I'll read out the comments of what's being said. Now, there's still fallout over this interview that he has done, and they're not backing down. Basically, they believe that John Barrowman should pay by basically disappearing off the face of the planet. As far as they're concerned, there is no forgiveness. There's no room for anybody to learn and grow within cancel culture. Once you do something that is perceived as wrong, that's it. You're black marked for the rest of your life. Now, the man has had to seek professional help because of the vile comments that he has been receiving. Now, the fascinating thing about this whole situation is that John Barrowman seems to be a focus on them all. Now, I was talking to a few people backstage after the last stream, and the point was brought up, well, it's because, John Barrowman has been very active, whereas Noel Clarke has fell off the face of the planet, which is probably true. But at the same time, it's quite startling to me that the fans of this era, and trust me, I've seen their tweets. It's the usual suspects, by the way, as usual. But it's quite fascinating and quite telling that they don't seem to listen. Someone made the idiotic point, well, you can focus on two twats at the same time. Well, that's fair enough, but you are all only focused on John Barrowman. Now, I'm going to say this again and make it very clear. John Barrowman doesn't owe any of you an apology. And I'll tell you why. Unless he personally took his willy out like he did, the things that he was supposed to do, and slapped it on your shoulder or slapped it on your face, then it's actually none of your business. All right? He didn't do it to you. Now, the people that he did do it to didn't have a problem. One complaint, as we know, was put forward. He was told to grow up. He said that he changed his behaviour. Now, since this has resurfaced, none of his castmates have come out and said anything negative against him. Even Garrett Lloyd came out and publicly supported him, while in the interview, John Barrowman said that a lot of people supported him behind the scenes. Ashley Banjo has supported him publicly also. He's explained the situation in great detail now. But apparently John Barrowman is arrogant. He's privileged and doesn't realise that he's made a mistake. There are still people calling it sexual assault. It's not sexual assault. He's explained exactly why he did it and the reasons for doing it. Now, he has acknowledged that it may have been his way of breaking the ice, but he understands that it's inappropriate. Now, back then there was a lot of things tolerated, whether you agree with it or not, right? You can't all of a sudden decide, well, years later, that he should pay for something that when he already had to come out and apologise. Now, he's apologised 3 times now. But still, unfortunately, there are self-indulgent fans. There are people out there that think that that's not good enough, and that John Barrowman should face further punishment by the sounds of these tweets. Now, there's been a little side effect to that. Because John Barrowman now refuses to be cancelled, they are now going after Matt Smith. Yes, they are now going after Matt Smith. So I'll read some of these comments here. So this is the kind of stuff that John Barrowman is dealing with, by the way. Some of these comments are just put out there, and people giving their opinions. If you actually go into John Barrowman's Twitter feed as well, you will see that there are people demanding an apology. I actually retweeted them and shut them down straight away. It's funny because after I actually tweeted them and stuff, and then they responded back to me, and then I gave my responses back, all of a sudden then they didn't want to talk about it, which is normally the case with them all. See, when you put the facts forward and you argue the facts to them, they don't like that. So they retreat. They either retreat or they lash out. Most of them really retreat. Right. So listen to this again. I'm not going to mention any names, right? But the reason why I can tell you that these are all fans of the current era is because most of them have Jodie Whittaker pictures, or some of them will actually have that this is their favorite era. It's actually quite startling when you see that most of the comments are coming from these fans of this era. So I'll read out some of the comments. So here we go. It's crazy to me that John Barrowman had really doubled down on not apologising and blaming everything on cancel culture, when I feel like what he did is really quite forgivable as long as he actually apologised and learned from his mistakes. Someone else responded to this comment by saying, I swear I read in an interview in today's paper where he did apologise. And then our favourite Ginger Snap says, not sure if it's forgivable, but his lack of apologies and blaming on other people is a poor look. And then another one responds, usual suspects that go around and bully people. I'd say it could be if he apologised sincerely and made up for it and actually acknowledged it all. But he hasn't done that. He's beyond redemption. So it's really frustrating. And then I'll end with this comment here. I'll stop here for a second, but there's a whole thread here, so I'll read what they say. I think provided he's reconciled with the parties involved and vows to do better, he could be forgiven. Wouldn't even have to name anyone, just mention that he's reconciled with them. But alas, it's looking like he's generally isn't that good of a person, which always sucks. Right. So let me get this straight. He's apologized 3 times, right? And because the apology is not framed or worded in a way that you guys would like to see, it's not a sincere apology. It is a sincere apology. He has apologized 3 times now. And again, this is the self-entitlement from these fans. I mean, as I said, unless he personally done this to you, you have no reason whatsoever to be coming out and complaining when the people that he did do it to absolutely have no issue with it and have not come out against him. So why are you all so adamant that he needs to frame an apology a certain way? He doesn't need to apologize to you guys. How many times he needs to be told? Your problem is that he's refusing to be cancelled, and he's throwing his toys out of the pram because he's aren't getting his own way. Because for once, there are people out there that are actually taking John Barrowman's word and you aren't being listened to for the first time in a long time, right? People are not listening to you are bull crap. And this is why you have a problem, you see. Because for once, people that cop on, have seen the situation for what it is, understands where John Barrowman's coming from, knows that he was reprimanded and apologised 3 times. To us, that's good enough. But to you guys, it's not good enough. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do because the majority of the fandom supports John Barrowman. And that's the problem that you have. Because he's supported by so many people, this is rubbing you up the wrong way because for once you aren't getting you our way. You want John Barrowman to be cancelled. You want him to disappear. Right? But it's not happening. He's refusing to be cancelled. He has apologised 3 times. Even in the last one, he's explained it all, right? He's come out and explained his reasons behind it. Logical reasons, right? Nobody is denying, including himself, that the behaviour was inappropriate, right? He said it was. He said, but that was his way of breaking the ice, and I can understand that. But unless the people that were involved in this have an actual problem with it, you guys have no say and shouldn't be demanding no apologies. Who the hell do you think you are? Seriously, who the hell do you think you are? You are self-entitled little morons who think that that this fandom and people that are in the show should pander to you guys all the time. And I knew this was going to happen, by the way. I'm not acknowledging it because PD Rich is sorting it out there. That's why I have moderators. But again, can you see there now the trolls coming in? Because I'm calling them out for their bull crap, right? Because they know I'm telling the truth, right? Yous are fake, outraged idiots. Yous have no reason to be demanding an apology off John Barrowman. Let's continue actually some of these self-entitled, self-indulgent replies, right? So, someone wrote, I've been saying it for ages. He started out in a hole about 3 inches deep, and all he needed to do was sincerely apologise and maybe donate a bit to charity. But his insistence to not apologise has made this hole a 5-foot deep hole. So let me get this straight. You think he should donate to a charity? Again, as I said, the people that he did this to, right, have not come out against him or said a bad word against him. He had an option to still have a career if he just apologised and move on, but he's bugged it for himself, honestly. No, he actually hasn't. No, he actually hasn't, because as he has rightly pointed out, ITV have not made their final decision on Dancing on Ice, and he hasn't received any contact from ITV. So he's not going to be cancelled because he has things in the works. He's already, if you follow his Twitter account like I do, he's already announced stuff that he's doing. So you aren't going to cancel him. You can try his our best. See, here's the thing. Cancel culture only works if those people that they're trying to cancel accept that they've been cancelled. But people like John Barrowman that are standing up to this cancel culture deserve a pat on the back. He's apologised 3 times. It happened years ago. Right? It was dealt with. Okay? So, again, unless he's done it to you, shut up. It's nothing to do with you. So this other comment says, I think he's made some kind of an apology. Don't forget the production team allowed all of this behaviour. But for many, perhaps not yourself, there will never be the right kind of an apology or the right type of an apology. That's a fair cop and a fair point there. But then this is another poster. And then they've put a picture up of Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, and Arthur. And I won't name the account, but they said, everyone moaning about Noel Clarke and John Barrowman, and yet nobody mentions the fact that Matt Smith has admitted groping and being creepy with guest actors. Remember him talking about the uncomfortable touch game. When did touching up people become okay? Doctor Who is right. Now, you see, what's happening here is now, right, is that that poster has decided that, you know, the cancellation of John Barrowman is not working. So we need a new target. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you now that the new target is Matt Smith. If someone could actually do me a favor as well before you delete those comments, if you could screenshot them as well. We need to show people what these fans are like. See, they're being called out now, and this is why, you know, I've kept my mouth closed for a few months, because things like this happen, right? But people have been saying, "Oh, why haven't you been speaking up when these things have been happening?" Now that I'm finally speaking up again, these a-holes have climbed out of all the holes that they've been in, and they're coming in now and they're attacking my guests and people I bring on here. That's how pathetic they are. They don't like being called out and the truth being told to them. What John Barrowman did is none of yous are fucking business, because he did it to none of yous. Okay? And the people that he did do it to seem to not have an issue with it, because none of them have came forward, as I said, and slammed them. Actually, he's received public support, and according to himself, he has received actually private support. Now, if that article was in any way fake, one of his cast members would have come out and condemned that article and said he's telling lies, right? But nobody did. Again, yous are brain dead. Yous haven't got brains, actually. That's why this series of Doctor Who is brilliant to you, because you don't need to think. It's for stupid people. But you'll never be cleverer than us. We could see what's going on here, right? John Barrowman will never be cancelled, right? Yous are going after Matt Smith now. Yous won't go after Matt Smith, because we're going to protect Matt Smith. Okay? Matt Smith isn't any of these things that you're called. See, you can't get your away with John Barrowman, so now you are going after Matt Smith. You are pathetic. Pathetic, pathetic, pathetic. You will do anything to elevate Whittaker's era, no matter what. And if that means taking down past cast members or taking down episodes because they've got a racist nature or whatever, that's how pathetic yous are. And yous will always remain pathetic. Let's read on anyway. So this will be this thread, right? So so they post a bit of it. They post a Vulture article, and they only show a little bit of the article. So this could be taken out of context completely, but because they have an agenda, they will put it out. Right, so the Vulture article has this paragraph, and it says, "Would the Doctor Who cast have dared to feel up Michael Gambon or Bill Nye while not traveling through time and space? The Doctor and his companion said they really enjoyed being really creepy with their guest stars. We play uncomfortable touch with all the new actors who come onto set," Matt Smith told the audience at Sunday's Comic-Con. Now, he said that at Comic-Con, right? And he said all the cast, right? But they just hyper-focus on Matt Smith. You see what's happening here, folks? They really think, right? They really think that we're stupid, right? So hold on. Here's the other part of the article. So, to demonstrate, he swung his arm around Karen Gillan's neck while Arthur Duval patted her shoulder. "The worst part about this is the gentle squeeze," Duval said. Basically, there's a lot of downtime on film set. So basically, right, so this person, because they're a moron, is tapping someone on the shoulder, right, or squeezing their neck, you know, and they like I think if you're in a relationship or you're with friends, you know how friends and relationships go. You do mess with each other, might tiddle each other or something like that, or squeeze on the. It's nothing, right? But basically, that's what they're saying is creepy, because I'll quote again, right? This is what's creepy to them. "He swung his arm around Karen's neck while Arthur patted her shoulder. The worst part about that is the gentle squeeze, right? Arthur Duval said, basically, there's a lot of downtime on the film set, Smith said. So, seriously, that's creepy to them, right? That would be what friends do when they're in each other's company. And if they had real friends and not internet buddies, they would actually know this. But they don't have real friends either. So they don't know what it's like to socialize properly, you know? So then someone replies, well, I regret watching New Who more and more. I mean, it's odd, but I'm not sure an arm on someone's shoulder and rubbing your privates on someone is the same thing, says someone there, right? And then someone writes the point, maybe this is why Eccleston walked, or a potential reason, not specifically, but Barrowman worked Jordan, Ninth Doctor, who knows? Now, if you've ever bothered to read Christopher Eccleston's book, actually, you will find out that there was other things going on that made him what you call it, live. I'm thinking this too. I wonder if Noel Clarke had anything to do with this, his bad experiences. See, that would make more sense. But again, that wouldn't be, because why would Christopher Eccleston exclude that from his book, where he's basically coming out and saying that the BBC did blacklist him? So, I mean, he wouldn't keep that to himself if he had that. That's not only physically creepy as fuck, but that's a manipulation tactic to exert power. No, it isn't, and that's obviously from a female, wouldn't you know? Not that the current moral outrage bandwagon, it'll come around. They'll get on with it when it's fashionable. That's someone that's obviously coming out against all of these Muppets. So why aren't you going for all three of them, given that it sounds like they were all implicated touching people as a game? Or are you reaching only for Matt for some reason, because there's a huge gulf between what's written there and what's even just Barrowman was doing? Exactly. See, they're hyper-focusing on Matt Smith while they've all admitted participating in this game, right? But again, as I said, this thread goes on for ages. I've been literally sent the whole thread, but I'm not going to give it any more due process. But the bottom line is that these people now, because they can't get at Barrowman, they're attacking Matt Smith. But this comment was highlighted by the person that sent me these screenshots, and I'm just going to read this. I wonder why Karen got where she got. Now I know. You do not get into the level of Hollywood films doing nothing but acting. For most actors, remember their casting couch in the old days. Power and control is a strong evil feeling. So this account is basically accusing Karen Gillan of doing sexual favors to get into Hollywood. I'll read that again for you, and and you know what? I won't mention the name on the stream, but I will actually leave the name of that account, because they're clearly that's not their real name. They're using a photograph, and it's not their real name. And I'll put that up. That is sick. So here it is again. I wonder why Gillan got where she got. Now I know. You do not get into that level of Hollywood films doing nothing but acting. For most actors, remember their casting couch in the old days. Power and control is a strong evil feeling. Right? Someone did respond to that comment and said, it's really rude and dumb to assume she sold her body to get roles because she played a game like that. There is nowhere near Noel or Barrowman levels, and you can't just assume to say shit like that. Do you see how disgusting these human beings are? Do you see why I've been doing what I've been doing, right? People can give out to me and say, "Oh no, does this, that, and the other," right? But this is the reason why I've been doing everything that I've been doing, right? Giving fans a voice, right? Coming out and getting behind something that I believe in. All of this stuff here is nonsense. I'm not going to stop until these people uh, either stop what they're doing or until every single one of them are exposed for the bigots that they actually are. Now, someone wrote this, and of course, it's the two usual suspects that we do get. One of them actually bullied a woman offline, but this is not their comment. They replied to this comment, but I'll read it out anyway. John Barrowman should not be excused for what he has done behind the scenes. Yes, he's admitted that it's wrong, but his complete lack of apology isn't enough to make me forgive him. Exposing your private parts on set for fun should always be regarded as inappropriate. And then the other person writes, "They're just a joke argument shouldn't really fly." He's apologized 3 times in 3 different ways. As someone said earlier on, anyway, it doesn't matter which way he apologizes. He's not going to be happy, right? They're saying that he's got an ego. He's privileged. He doesn't realize that he's he's arrogant, and that his apology. Look, it's absolutely ridiculous the way these idiots are carrying on. They don't seem to understand that when someone apologizes 3 times, and when it was only necessary to apologize the first time, and some will even argue that, well, if none of the cast members had a problem with it, he shouldn't even have to apologize in the first place. But the fact that he has apologized 3 times and they still don't get it, they're not happy. And even if he was to frame an apology in the way that they want it, they'd find some fault with it and say, well, it's not believed. See, on one hand, they're saying that they don't believe him, right? That his apology are not sincere. But yeah, they're saying that they want him to frame the apology a certain way. But if he did that, he wouldn't be being sincere. But you would accept that. That is our hypocrisy right there. He has been sincere. He's apologized 3 times. He's refusing to let cancel culture take him down, and he's right. And that's not arrogance. That's him saying that he's taken his life back, right? That he made a mistake. He's moved on. The people that he did it to have obviously moved on too, right? So you idiots need to move on, right? Doesn't matter how many screams and tantrums you have, you aren't going to cancel him. But because you can't cancel him now, you are going after Matt Smith, even though Karen Gillan and Arthur Duval have come out and said that they played the same game, but just focus on Matt Smith, because for you, the men are the enemy, right? I'm actually surprised that Arthur is not getting it as well, because he is a bloke, but you're hyper-focusing on the doctor, Matt Smith's doctor, because again, all your goal has ever been from day one since you've come into this fandom is to destroy everything we love about Doctor Who. And now you have forgotten the perfect excuse because of the Noel Clarke situation, and now you are using that ever since it came out from day one to go after John Barrowman, Matt Smith. You will go after someone else. I remember when Jodie Whittaker was cast, there were people out there calling Peter Capaldi all vile sorts of things. I won't repeat the stuff that they were saying, but just go after everything else, all in the name of elevating you our precious little doctor and you our precious era of Doctor Who. Well, whether you like it or not, it's all been a failure, and all you have managed to do is show fans what you are really like, and what you are really like is you are vile, despicable human beings. And to be quite honest with you, what should happen is that all fans that truly love Doctor Who should get together and make sure that she's booted from this fandom and never to be seen again, because she's being utterly, absolutely the most toxic thing that's ever happened to this fandom. And I swear to good God, you have been the worst thing that's ever happened to this show. Doctor Who fans are very open about welcoming fans into the fandom. But by God, did we make a mistake with you lot. By God, did we make a mistake with you lot. You clearly do not love this show. You absolutely hate everything about it, because your actions are showing us exactly what our agenda is. You absolutely do not deserve Doctor Who, the fandom, John Barrowman, or any other doctor. You don't deserve any of that. You don't respect it. You never will, okay? Because our actions always speak otherwise. And the fact that you are going after Matt Smith now, right? John Barrowman was the line that just crossed that made me decide to come out and speak up again. But the fact that you are going after one of my favourite doctors, a lot of fans' favourite doctor, no way. No way. Enough is enough. You guys need to get out of this fandom. We need, seriously, guys, for once, just listen to me, everybody out there. We, as a fans that truly love Doctor Who, need to band together now. We really do. We need to stop this behaviour, nip it in the bud. We need to report these accounts. We need to come together and organise. These people cannot be getting away with destroying people's lives. Look at John Barrowman. He's had to seek professional help, talk to someone because of what they've done. It is time to stand up together once and for all and to get rid of this cancer that's in this fandom. And they are the cancer, folks. They are the cancer. They drive people to insanity that they end up having to go and seek help, right? They punch them while they're down. They kick them while they're down, right? And then they go after everybody when they don't get their way. We've got to stop this. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. How far does it have to go? I get it. People didn't want to get involved when it came to my situation and people going after my wife and coming after me. I get it. You didn't want to get involved in all of that. But you need to step up now when it comes to John Barrowman and Matt Smith. We need to stand behind those two men, right? We cannot be allowing this to happen anymore. These are the people that need to be kicked out of our fandom. We need to get them out. They've been nothing but trouble from day one. They've never accepted anything about this show because they've tried to change everything about it, right? Or anytime BBC throw up something that they didn't like, they complained and they got their way, right? And because John Barrowman is standing up to them now, they're going after Matt Smith. We've got a super chat from Kip Ellis, a £5 super chat, and Kip, I really do appreciate it. He says, "No, Dan and the Zoners, I'm working at Mad Barber channel, so I'm not here as much lately, but you lot will always be my mates, and these trolls can do one." Thank you very much, Kip. We really do appreciate your support. And listen, I'm glad to see that you're out there on other people's channels and doing your thing. It's always good to hear some stories like that. So well done. I hope you're enjoying it. And thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But I mean, look, guys, they're not simply Jodie fans. They're tools of the BBC. I know, I do get that. There would be some people out there, Chris, that would be making sure that this keeps getting pushed. The narrative keeps getting pushed. I do get it. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there, mate, that are just fans of this era that we could, you know, expose. I mean, imagine saying, right, and I'm going to throw that up, by the way. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to censor it here, and then I'm going to screen share it here so you can actually see the writing in the flesh, so to speak, right? And this is the one where the person basically accuses Karen Gillan of being a prostitute. Let's be blunt. That's exactly what they're thinking. That's exactly what he's saying. Right? Vile. We're the sexist, misogynistic pigs, apparently. We're the sexist, misogynistic pigs, by the way. Yeah. Wait till you see this, right? As I said, I will censor their name, but not on Twitter, because it's on Twitter. So they've put it out there publicly for people to see. But I'm not going to put it on my YouTube channel that way, because you know what they're like. Oh, the no for the Tartarson's bullying me, even though I don't know him and I've never interacted with him before. He's bullying me because he showed the tweet, even though he censored me name, but I'm outing myself. He bullied me. Sorry, I couldn't help doing that. It's been a while. But I tell you, man, it's gone too far. It's gone too far for years, and I can understand to a certain extent why people bailed out because of getting a bit much. But guys, when John Barrowman is still being attacked to this day, they're going after Matt Smith now. And by the way, take my word for it, and people that know how it works on Twitter, they're not going to let that go. They're going to keep real. Now, listen, I can tell you right now, as this stream is happening right now, there are some of those fans out there trawling through all the YouTube videos and all the interviews, and they're looking for stuff that Matt Smith said in the past, right? And they'll be doing the same with John Barrowman. Well, most of the John Barrowman stuff is out there, right? But they're gonna now start seeking out and looking for all of that other stuff. And by the way, people say, "Well, what are you saying?" And they're already doing it. Trust me, I've been working at this game for too long now. I know how they think. Okay, because they're not really that clever, but that's what they'll do. Right? They're not letting this go. He's the next target now. They can't cancel John Barrowman, so they're going after Matt Smith now. And again, as I said, it's all designed because, as I said, they never truly are liked Doctor Who, right? They saw a female doctor, they jumped on board. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. They're not fans. They've been trying to change the show. They've been complaining about episodes and watch-alongs and stuff like that. Even had things cancelled, pictures taken down because apparently it was racist and stuff. They don't like it, right? They've never liked it, right? There's an agenda. There's their female doctor, and they'll do anything to protect Whittaker. If Whittaker actually knew what was going on, I'd say she'd be disgusted. I really do, and I'm going to say that. I think she would be really disgusted. She wouldn't want anything like that done in her name. Right, are you ready for this? Here's this message. So everybody could see it on screen. Now, I'm not showing their names. Right? Because they'll you know what I mean, they'll cry. So if you can't see that, I will try and make it bigger. Hold on. I'll make it bigger now if I can. There. Hopefully you can see that now. Right? So I'll read it out again. Right? I wondered why Gillan got where she got. Now I know. You do not get into that level of Hollywood films doing nothing but acting. For most actors, remember their casting couch in old days. Power and control is as strong evil feeling. So this vile piece of crap is basically accusing Karen Gillan of selling her body, therefore calling Karen Gillan, you know what. It doesn't matter if they got her name wrong. We shouldn't be laughing at the fact that they got her name wrong, but I get where you're coming from, garbage. But let's be serious here. They say that they're for women's rights and for, for women should be treated equally. But yeah, there's someone making a vile comment about how Karen may have done things to get where she's got of a sexual nature. Right? So that's what they're doing now. They're going to go after Matt Smith and Karen Gillan. Well, mostly Matt Smith. But I will say this. It's important, and I want to thank everybody because there's a few of you in the chat here now. I want to thank you all, the people that did go into John Barrowman's Twitter account to show him some love and support. You could tell that he put up a post earlier as well. I think it really does mean a lot to him. So I want to thank you all for doing that, the people that did. Also, as I said, I will have another stream coming up shortly. Well, about an hour from now, maybe. Give everybody a bit of a break. And I want to give me throat a bit of a break as well. But going back to John Barrowman, look, as I said, last night, for any fan out there, you aren't fans, by the way, and I will say it, I don't care if that winds you up anymore. You are not fans of Doctor Who if you went and sent John Barrowman a vile comment, if you accused him of, like some of you did, of being a paedophile, being a sexual assault, compare them to sick paedophiles like Jimmy Savile and people like Ralph Harris. You clearly have no understanding of the whole situation. You're clueless. But I want to say to you again what I said to you on Twitter. Hang your heads in shame, every single one of you, right? Because you broke him. You broke him so much that he had to go and talk to someone. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You are emotional bullies, right? That's what you do. You emotionally bully people to the point that they crack. And you go around and you call us the toxic ones. You really should all take a long, hard look at yourselves. Seriously. You all need professional help. Because you're treating people that way, even after they've admitted their mistake and have apologized, and it was years ago. You guys digging it back up. And by the way, I do find it quite telling that you're hyper-focused on John Barrowman. And yes, maybe because Noel Clarke hasn't been on social media, he's all forgotten. But remember, he's been alleged to have done indecent things to 20-odd women. But yeah, I don't see you talking about that and being outraged about that. You just keep hyper-focusing on John Barrowman, yeah, because he's decided to stand up for himself. And because he's aren't getting his own way, as I said, he's now going after Matt Smith. Well, fuck no. Ain't happening on my watch. And it ain't happening. It ain't. You will be called out. I will do streams like this all the time, and I will continue to highlight your stupidity until someone does something about it. And i.e., I mean BBC or someone step in and condemn this sort of behaviour. It is absolutely disgraceful, the kind of stuff that John Barrowman has been accused of. It's absolutely disgraceful, the type of stuff now that Matt Smith is being accused of. And it's absolutely disgraceful to even suggest that Karen Gillan did some sexual favours to get where she's gotten. How bloody dare you all? You disgusting, vile pieces of crap, as I said, right? He's like that pus that comes out of an infected sore, right? He's at that low. He's at the low of the lowest. As I said, the worst thing we ever did in this fandom, and we're a very open fandom, the worst thing we ever did in this fandom is allow idiots like you to have a voice. You should have been shut down straight away as soon as you come in, which is our crap. But you weren't. Well, it's not going to fly anymore. It's not going to fly anymore. And to all you usual suspects out there, you know who you are. Yeah? You hypocrites. The one that have bullied women offline and bullied all my friends online. Yeah? You want to take a look at yourselves. Yeah? Because yous ain't perfect either, sunshines. Yeah? Every single one of yous are vile. Yous have shown yous are true colours. So sit down and don't be judging others. Because take a long, hard look at yourselves. Yous ain't perfect. None of us are. But how dare you? And by the way, he will not be apologising again. He's drawn a line under it. Yeah? It's done. So get over it. Get over yous are John Barrowman hate. Right? He's apologised 3 times. No, none of the people involved are making an issue of it. Line drawn under it. It's done. No amount of shouting from you guys or throwing his toys out of the pram because he refuses to be cancelled is going to stop him from doing what he's doing. And by the way, for you people out there saying that he'll never work again, even if ITV was to drop him, he already has plans to do his own things in theatre. And trust me, the theatre company's not going to listen because John Barrowman brings in an audience. And that's the thing. He does. And that's why that's why he's pissed. Because nobody's listening to you. He has all the support of the fans. And John, I will say to you again, you do have the support of all the fans that actually count, the fans that actually matter, the fans that have your back, the fans that love the characters that you've played, right? The fans that understand your explanations of everything that went on. We thank you for all the good memories and all the happy memories, and we hope to see you in the future again in whatever capacity it is. But you keep your head held high because you have nothing to apologise for anymore. And I wish you the best of luck. And we all do. We wish you the best of luck for your future career. And hopefully one day we'll see you back as Captain Jack, whether it's in Torchwood or Doctor Who. But one day, hopefully we'll see you back. And don't worry, there will be fans out there like us that will keep this story going. Make sure that these people that are attacking you are exposed, because we're not having it anymore. We're not going to take it anymore. Jack, John Barrowman, we love you. Stay cool and keep doing those little videos. We love you, man. I told you I was going to be very animated for this stream. This is why I'll need a bit of a break. Because, look, I get accused of an awful lot of stuff on this channel. And, you know, as I said, over the last few months, I have kind of stayed silent on things that have been happening in the fandom because I wanted a bit of peace and quiet. And don't get me wrong, I still want that peace and quiet. But I know once I started to talk about this John Barrowman situation, we've seen tonight, I'm not going to get that peace and quiet. But don't worry, they're not going to get to me this time. I am determined to make sure that these people are exposed for the people that they actually are. John Barrowman should be able to get on with his life and move on. Because the people that he was involved in the incidents with, they've moved on with their lives. So I don't know why these fans think that they deserve some sort of specially framed apology and why all of a sudden he should start donating to charities. It's none of your business what he does. He apologised, line drawn under it. We're done. And as I said, if any more of this nonsense comes up, and the thing about it is, as I said, they've started on Matt Smith now. So I'll keep an eye on that. It's important that I do. because God knows what they're going to say about him now, because they've already started off with Whopper ones, so God knows how bad they're going to get. But again, if you see any of this behavior and you happen to be on Twitter or any sort of social media, don't be afraid to call this crap out, because John Barrowman also has to see that there are fans out there that are supporting him. So again, I would say send those messages of support and keep sending those messages of support, because he's clearly gone through or has gone through a rough time. So much so, as I said, he's had to talk to someone, and for him to come out and admit that is very brave. Because I think it's, I think it's a lot harder for men to kind of talk about their feelings. I'm not saying it's easier for women, but women do find it, they can talk and relate to each other. Blokes are kind of built a bit differently. We don't like to talk to people about our problems. It's got to do with pride and stuff, and not to be shown to be weak and all of this. Yeah, there is a macho element to it, I suppose, but that's the way we are. We don't want to burden other people with our problems and stuff like that, and then we tend to bottle it all up. So the fact that he's come out and actually said that he's gone and seeked some advice and help over this is, I think that's very brave, and he should be commended for that. But again, he's being attacked. He's trying to make us feel sorry for him. They really are sick people. It's a sad time to be in this fandom. It really is. I think these people are really, truly, they really need to cop on and get a life. I mean, look, there are more important things going on in the world right now that I think these people should be focused on. But they're focusing on an incident that happened years and years ago that he's apologized 3 times for. And remember, I keep saying it, none of his cast members that had seen this happen have come out and slammed him. So if they don't have a problem with it, I don't know why these fans have a problem with it. Well, we do know why, right? It's because they don't like, as I said, they don't like Doctor Who. I've called them fake fans from the beginning, and I was criticised for calling them fake fans, so I decided to call them J-bots. But I'm going to call them exactly what they are. They're fake fans. They tried to change this show, right? They've also tried to destroy what's come before, right? They've had post watch-alongs taken down. Remember, Emily Cook was doing those great watch-alongs. She picked a certain episode, and because she picked that episode, they all kicked up stink, and then she cancelled the watch-along. She did one more, and that was it. She changed the episode, by the way, that they were complaining about. And then they put up a post about John Smith. That upset them as well. BBC America took down that post. Listen, these people are not fans of this show, and we've got to tell it as it is. They're not Doctor Who fans. Right, with that, I'm going to leave it there, because I will be back. My throat is starting to get a bit, and I just want to take a little bit of a break. But I will be back. And the next one is Doctor Who rumors. So I'll be back in about a half an hour. So I'll put the stream up. It'll be ready to go. So if you're still up, head over to that chat as soon as you see it up. And we will be going live then again. That's it. But I just want to thank the moderators, because I know there's had to be a bit of drama in the chat. I know you have dealt with it anyway. So thank you again. It's ridiculous, but you see, they don't like truth bombs. They don't like when someone comes out and explains and basically describes what they're all about. They don't like that, so they resort to insulting people and going after them. You know, it's utterly disgusting. But you know, that's what you have to deal with. But listen, join me for the next one. Join me for the next one. Give me about a half an hour. I will actually set it up straight after this. So I'll go up straight away. Get yourselves in the chat there, and I'll see you in give it about 20 minutes, half an hour, all right? And we'll do these leaks, discuss them briefly, and then that'll be it for the night. But the next stream will be a short one. It's not gonna take too long. But before we do go, we have a £10 super chat from Garbage. Thanks, Garbage. Really do appreciate that. Far too many people are getting personally attacked on Twitter, Facebook. Other people in a group and myself was personally attacked by a YouTuber the other day. That will not grow. That will not grow their channel. Yeah, again, I will say that does seem to be a tactic of new YouTube channels. They think that if they get entrenched in the drama and you know, and they start talking about it, that's going to elevate their channel. But people are seeing through that now. People are seeing through that now. You will see channels out there that have tried that tactic. They're not actually going anywhere, you know. So yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, you should only call someone out or go after someone if you believe, you know, if you have a genuine case to do so. And you know, it's not very often I do, but when I do, I'm more than likely 100% then proven to be right. My gut instinct is always good. And here's the thing, I always do have these gut instincts, but I used to ignore them. And then I'd say to Sharon, she said, well, you should always listen to your gut instinct because most of the time you are right, but I choose to ignore it, but not anymore. So, look, you're going to get people out there, Garbage, that are just going to, the best thing, my advice to you is this, you know, let them scream from the rooftops. If you ignore them, now that'll annoy them even more. But if you ignore them, eventually they will have to give up because they'll look bad to everybody else. So, you know, my advice to you is not to retaliate, you know. But thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. As we know, if anybody's been following me, Garbage was the first super chat we ever got on the channel, if I'm correct in saying it was. So, yeah, thank you, Garbage. Really appreciate that. Right, I'm going to leave there. I'm going to leave it there. We will be back. So don't forget to support the channel by hitting the like, share, and subscribe button. Yeah, for the notifications, hit the bell, and don't forget Wednesdays we have the Cracking Time movies on, and every Saturday and Sunday we got New Who, and we have other stuff going on as well. Remember, we will have a lot of TV show and movie reviews coming up because there's a lot of shows starting back up again that we'll be able to do. And as I said, we'll have all those other things happening as well. I will be back in about 20 minutes time, maybe. I might have to take Ted out before that, actually. I've just seen the time. So I'll take him out, but I'll set the stream up first. I'll take him out, and then we should be ready to go. I will be back in about 20 minutes, thinking I will be doing another stream. So if you want to keep an eye on the channel, I will put the link up. It'll be up in a few minutes. and I'll talk to you soon. I can hear my voice now, so I do really need to take a little bit of a break, but I will be back. So thank you again for all the super chats, and thanks for the support. And we will see you very, very soon. Here is the channel trailer coming up now. Just give us a second. Thinking says a great stream as usual, even though I was late. It's all right. It's all right. As you know, anyway, you can catch up all the time. It's there for you guys whenever you want to watch. Good night, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Here's the channel trailer. Go to All Dread Audio Visual, and a problem being to have a look at these videos and stuff. And if you want any work done, go and check out his channel. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.